Brace yourselves, my loves. Sometimes the scariest thing isn't what we show others, but what we accidentally reveal about ourselves. When art meets reality, the lines aren't always clearly drawn. Chapter 11. Drawing Lines. Darcy coughed, Maya pounding helpfully on her back as she choked on the almond. When she could breathe again, she found Callum watching her with concern, those green eyes entirely too intense for her peace of mind.
I should probably get back,
she managed, setting down her mug.
Pablo will be plotting revenge for his outdoor adventure by now.
Let me help with your tree,
Callum said, already standing.
Wouldn't want you to undo all my heroic work from this morning.
Behind him, Maya caught Rose's eye and made a gesture that was definitely not appropriate for holiday cards. Rose stifled a giggle behind her phone. The walk to Darcy's cabin was short but charged with something that made the cold air feel electric. Pablo waited in the window, his golden eyes following their approach with regal interest.
Here should be good,
Darcy said as Callum positioned the tree near her fireplace.
Though knowing Pablo, it'll end up wherever he decides it belongs.
As if summoned, Pablo leapt down from his perch and wound between Callum's legs, purring loudly.
Traitor,
Darcy muttered.
I think he's just a good judge of character.
Callum smiled, crouching to scratch behind Pablo's ears. The cat melted into his touch, purring harder.
Now you're just showing off.
Maybe.
He looked up at her through that fallen lock of hair, and for a moment, the air between them felt thick with possibility. Then his gaze drifted past her to her desk, where her tablet displayed her latest comic draft.
Is that?
Darcy's stomach dropped. On the screen was a half-finished panel of her latest disaster date. A brooding photographer who kept his emotions locked behind a camera lens.
It's not. I was just...
She moved to close the tablet, but Callum was already looking through her previous panels with quiet interest.
These are about real people?
His voice was carefully neutral.
Your past relationships?
Some of them. Not all. I change things, make them fictional, but...
She wrapped her arms around herself, suddenly cold despite the crackling fire.
The core stories come from somewhere real.
He nodded slowly, still studying the panels. She waited for the accusation, the betrayal, the realization that she turned real pain into profitable entertainment.
You're very talented,
he said, still studying the panels.
The detail work is impressive.
Thank you.
Darcy's voice came out too bright, too brittle.
And thank you for today, for saving me. And the tree, and the stories. All of it. Really. It was...
She was backing toward the door, practically hurting him with her nervous energy.
It was great. Perfect. But I should really get to work. Deadlines, you know? Can't keep the readers waiting.
Callum looked up from the tablet, brow furrowed in confusion.
Are you...
Fine. Totally fine. Just busy. Very busy. Comic stuff. Artist stuff. You understand?
Pablo wound between them one last time, as if trying to anchor them in place. But Darcy was already opening the door, letting in a blast of cold air.
Darcy.
There was a question in the way he said her name. Concern mixing with confusion in those green eyes.
Thanks again.
She was practically vibrating with panic now.
For everything, really. So much. Bye.
The door closed between them before he could respond. Through the window, she watched him stand there for a moment, snow gathering in his hair, expression unreadable. Then he turned and walked away. His shoulders relaxed, but his steps measured, like he was trying to solve a puzzle. Pablo meowed accusingly from her feet.
I know.
Darcy sighed, sinking into her desk chair.
I messed up.
She looked at her tablet, at the unfinished panel of a man who kept the world at a safe distance. She thought she was drawing him. Turned out she'd been drawing herself all along. The irony would make a great comic panel, if only it didn't hurt so much.